Hello everyone, welcome back to another Umamusume video. Today is June 4th, which means, well, on top of the Champions Meet beginning, it is also time for our next trainee to release, on top of some new support cards coming our way. First off, let's go over with the trainee. We're getting a Sweep Tosho. Sweep Tosho. Okay. She has a stat bonus in speed and power, with 10% in speed and 20% in power. Her aptitude is towards turf, and the distances she can run are medium and mile, with a D in long and a sprint E. When it comes to her strategy, you can run her as a end closer or a late surger. Her epitaph is a selfish, magical girl. Win the Tulip Show and Shuka Show as an end closer, and then win the Takarazuka Kinen Queen Elizabeth II Cup and Arima Kinen in your senior year as a late surger or end closer. And that is pretty much, it's pretty simple when it comes to it. You just need to race in these specific races and win these specific G1s, and it's definitely one of the more straightforward ones. Anyway, her unique skill is Victory Belongs to Me, Sterilizia. Get positions toward the back and racing calmly until the start of the final corner. When there are 300 meters remaining, cast a magic spell to increase velocity continuously. Her innate skills will be Trick Rear, After School Scroll, and Take the Chance. When you start awakening her skills at level 2, you'll get Intense Gaze. At level 3, you'll get Go Home Specialist. At level 4, you'll get Straightaway Spurt. And at level 5, you will get Petrifying Gaze. She also has evolved skills, although we do not have them yet. I will always go over them. You need to trigger this specific training event or get at least 5 speed type skills. Go Home Specialist will turn into After School Magician Girl. Magical Girl. I'm saying this like it's a Yu-Gi-Oh card. It's for end closers. During any downhill beyond the first 10 seconds of the race, your speed will slightly increase and your stamina will recover. For Petrifying Gaze, to evolve it, you need to win the Okusho, or have at least 800 power, and win the Japanese Oaks, or get 2 acceleration type skills. Petrifying Gaze will turn into Charm Magic for end closers. At a random point during the final leg, if you're not in the lead, you will drain speed from all enemies in your FOV. And if you don't know what FOV is, it is Field of View, just in case. Another way to evolve Petrifying Gaze is through winning the Japanese Oaks and the Yasuda Kinen, but the specific Espo stat, you're supposed to have it 800. For the Japanese Oaks, it is 800 speed, and for the Yasuda Kinen, you could have either 800 wit. Petrifying Gaze will turn into Salvia Splendens. For end closers, at the random point during the final leg, your speed will increase. There we go. Skills from her events you can get is Slipstream, End Closers, You're Not the Boss of Me, and Restraint. When you start running her objectives, this is how it's going to be going for you. After the Junior Make debut, you will head into the Henshin Juvenile Fillies. And after the Henshin Juvenile Fillies, you'll enter the Triple Tiara, with starting off with the Okusho, going into the Japanese Oaks, and ending it off at the Shuka Show. Place third or better. Why am I saying that? After the Shuka Show, you'll enter the Queen Elizabeth II Cup in the Classic class. And then after that, that is it for your Classic year. You'll enter the Senior year, starting off with the Yasuda Kinen, going into late June for the Takarazuka Kinen, going to late October for the Tenno Autumn, and ending it off in early November at the Queen Elizabeth II Cup. There we go. That's her objectives. 10 objectives in total. Let's go over some secret events. If you win the triple tiara, she will get 15 speed and an end closer corners hint +2. And I think this is an important one. Yes, after you participate in the junior make debut, you will obtain the skill You're Not the Boss of Me. You're Not the Boss of Me increases time lost to slow starts and moderately decreases wit. This will always usually happen to you, and it is up to you to realistically make sure it gets cured. And here is how you do it. Winning the Takarazuka Kinen Senior will award you all stats up +3, skill points +45, and the restraint hint +3 in healing You're Not the Boss of Me. Here is what Restraint does. Restraint increases wit and moderately decreases the chance of being rushed. Now, when it comes to whether Sweep Tosho does have accessibility to this secret event in Track Blazer is unknown to me, mostly because I never managed to pull Sweep Tosho when I try to go for her. And, well, yeah, that's the end of that. We're actually nearing the time and point in the game where I took a heavy freeze before coming back for a little bit and realizing I'm out of my scope and then quitting the Japanese version. It is crazy to think that in a year's time we have almost caught up to almost the second year. We're really heading towards in that direction, and it's heading faster than you guys are anticipating. Okay, but let's get down to the bee's knees. Should you be summoning for Sweep Tosho? Well, the answer to that is always summoning for your favorites is definitely the go-ahead for you. But if you are, I guess, into looking for a new end closer, Sweep Tosho is a nice end closer. She comes basically packed with Go Home Specialist at a very early awakening level, which will definitely help. She has a manageable long distance, but that does not mean she will excel at it. But if you simply love Sweep Tosho for who she is, I am pretty sure you will find a way to run her in any aptitude either way. When it comes to me, I am going to be throwing a couple multis, I would say. Sweep Tosho. I really like her design. It's a very cute magical girl design. I really like the witch aesthetic. When it came to why I wanted to summon for her, well, the original release date for her was actually on my birthday. She came out on 6/19 in 2022 for the Japanese version, and I basically have been drawn to her ever since then. And, well, that's all I need to really motivate myself to summon for anyone. Okay, now that we're done with Sweep Tosho, let's head into these last two new support cards and wrap this video up. Starting off with the new SSR, we have Taiki Shuttle, a speed type SSR. At max limit break, here is what she'll be offering to the table. Her unique effect is gain speed bonus +1 and skill bonus +1 when the bond gauge is at least 80, with a friendship bonus of 25%, hint level 4, 60% hint frequency, a 5 race bonus, 15 fan bonus, 50 specialty priority, a 1 speed bonus, initial friendship gauge of 20, a power bonus of 1, and a training effectiveness of 10%. When it comes to her support hints, we have Wet Conditions, Productive Plan, Mile Straightaways, Shifting Gears, Acceleration, Speed Eater, and a stat gain of 6 speed and 2 power. From events, you will be able to obtain Mile Corners, Mile Maven, Straight Course, and Prepared to Pass. On the first node, you'll get 7 speed and 7 power. On the second node, you have a choice. The top option will give you randomly either 15 power and a Mile Corners hint +2, or just 10 power and ending the event support chain. Picking the bottom option will give you just 10 speed, but it will continue into the last and third node, which is plus 10 to speed, power, and guts, and a Mile Maven hint plus 1. When it comes to random events, you can either get 10 speed or 5 speed and 5 power, and you can have the choice between losing 10 energy, getting 5 speed, 10 power, and a straight course hint plus 1, or a prepared to pass hint plus 1. That is Taiki Shuttle. Overall, she's a very decent miler card, if I'm being quite honest. She has a plethora of hints that she can go through when it comes to mile races, like straightaways. I guess you will have to gamble on the corners, but the corners, Mile Maven, acceleration shifting gears, if I didn't mention that, and Speed Eater. And on top of that, I mean, straight course is a little tricky to use. You need to make sure the track has no corners before you even consider putting this on. But yeah, it's definitely good. And Prepare to Pass is Prepare to Pass. It's good on most pace chasers. That's Taiki Shuttle. Thankfully, if you just want to run it for your mile run, even though you're going to be losing out on a good chunk of stats from a good speed card, technically the race bonus is gettable without any limit breaks. At just level 30, you will have the 5% race bonus she basically has on board, with 35 specialty priority, 2 I guess to boot, and the hint level 2 with 40% frequency towards hints. But that's enough about Taiki Shuttle. Let's head into our new SR, Ogre Cap Guts. At level 45, max limit breaking. Her unique effect is increases power gain when trained together by 1 and increases stat gain from races by 5. She has a friendship bonus of 30, hit level 2, hit frequency of 40%, special priority of 50, training effectiveness of 5, race bonus of 5, fan bonus of 10, initial friendship gauge of 20, and a speed bonus of 1. When it comes to her sport hints, we have Homestretch Haste, Unyielding Sprint or Spirit, Pumped, Fearless, Corner Acceleration, Nimble Navigator, Acceleration, Groundwork, and a plus 1 to Speed and Power with a plus 6 to Guts. From events, you will be able to get Wet Conditions and Nakayama Racecourse. On her first node, you can either get 15 Bond to Ogre Cap, or you can lose 10 energy and get 15 guts and a plus 5 bonus to hurt bond instead. Second to last node is guaranteed. You'll get 7 power, 7 guts, 10 skill points, and a wet conditions hit plus 1. From random events, you have the choice between 5 energy, 5 power, or losing 10 energy, getting 15 guts. And finally, her last training random event is choice between 5 power and 15 skill points, or the Nakayama Racecourse hint plus 1. That's Ogre Cap. Well, Ogre Cap is basically a Guts card. There's definitely a Guts meta that is very viable right now. When it comes to if she can really take the spot of any of the non-premiums, most of them are free to play, but some of them, if you're starting out new, you definitely will not have access to, I suppose. And I guess Ogre Cap and I Admire Vega can kind of make up for the fact you do not have that yet, or your Haru Urara is not fully max limit broken. And I think she does a fine job. Her hints are interesting, to say the least. When it comes to it, I think Corner Acceleration, Nimble Navigator, Groundwork are the more interesting ones, with Homestretch Haste, Unyielding Spirit, and Acceleration being the somewhat to consider. You are guaranteed at least 2 green skills with Wet Conditions and Nakayama Racecourse, so I guess that can be a nice card to put on in case you're making a parent who wants to specifically run towards the Nakayama races, or get ready for a CM that has the racing wet condition. And I guess that's it. That's everything coming today. And, well, I wish you luck on anyone going for the Taiki Shuttle and Ogre Cup. Support cards, I wish you luck on getting your sweet Tosho. And I wish you good luck on your Champions Meet. And with that done, please let me know in the comments below how you did. And also leave a like, comment, and subscribe. When it comes to what you should comment, if it's not telling me how you did, you can say anything, really. I'll either like it or I'll respond. One of the two. Anyway, goodbye. See you in the next one.